Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. As of recently, obviously the purpose of this video is because we just hit 100 subs and I wanted to do something special for it. So we're going to be using this room in order to do it, and I hope you guys are ready for what is to come, and you'll see as we build it. So let's get into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to build sections, little kind of like how science fair projects are, the trifold kind of look. What they're all going to be is the quest rooms. So to start off, we need to do golden trophy. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Obviously, one of the first things we're going to want to do is to make the carpet, and specifically if you look at the golden trophy thumbnail for the game, it obviously has the red carpet with the golden layout, golden strips along the way, and we do need our special little weapons. So let's go ahead and continue. Alright, so I think we got a pretty good carpet along this path, so now we're going to just have to work on a couple of beams, as well as, what should I say, yes, weapons, items, and maybe a little invention that somebody has made for the boss, and that way we can set it up all here. And let's get started on the walls. And because we are making separate sections, we do need to set up walls in between each quest. As for the back wall, we're going to want to set up with the bosses as well as what he's behind. So we need a couple of banners as well as the... we'll need to set up a couple of banners as well as him. And we'll look around in the store and see if we can find anything. There we go, we got a couple of banners up, so now let's look for the store and see if we can find the boss. This one looks good. This one is by well then, so we can get it for free, which is nice. So now that we have it, let's go ahead and stick it up there. Look at him, he's adorable. Then of course we're going to want to make a little border between that side of the wall and this side of the wall, because what this is actually going to represent is people who are going to be standing behind it, and I'll explain later as soon as we finish this up. Okay, so I think we got golden trophy done. We might need to add a title, but that should be pretty simple. I think I'll just use the text item that we get in the gadgets. So yeah, let's go ahead and set this entire thing up and stick it where it should. So we got that over there. I'll show you guys. Here we are, right here. We got ourselves the golden trophy one. And let's go ahead and stick the title there. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we are. Now it's a little more centered. Okay, so now that we got golden trophy out of the way, we will be working on what is next. I believe it's crimson. So yeah, let's get started. So what we'll need for crimson is obviously we need a castle. We need a dark overheaded castle with the boiling pot in the bell, and then of course we will get the witch from the invention store. And yeah, I forgot to add a few weapons, but those minor details will be added after we have them all. So let's get to it. For those of you who don't know, this top part here is just a measuring to make sure that the edges right here are actually in line with each other. So now we need to work on the window openings on the tower. So let's go ahead and start with that. And I'll give you guys a better angle of what that looks like. I'd say it's a pretty tall opening, but I think it should be a good size, especially for this. And then all we have to do is copy this, maybe give it a couple more on each side, a couple more on one side, and then replicate that on the other. And for those of you who are wondering how I am able to space each window equally, is you can see here that between each window there is about 2, 3, so half on each end and 2 in the middle. And that is the same for this one here. It's about the same size. So that's how you can easily measure it, especially with the brick. They give you your own measuring distances, since each brick shows the lines in between. Should help you out. So let's go ahead and continue with the rest of the walls and then figure out what to do with the back, because obviously we do need to put a couple windows back there as well. So I think we got the walls done. Now we just need to fix up the back a little bit and maybe put a roof on this thing. Or not, we'll see. Okay, so the back wall is done. Now we just need to put a cauldron in, put in the witch, And I think that should be good for the boss setting, and then we'll figure out the details along with the golden trophy in the end. And yeah, so let's keep that up. And of course we do. Then we look for the witch. Now I imagine we could just take off that. Alright, got it. Alright, so we got the witch there. And now we just need to merge all the objects that we can. Unless the owner obviously states that we can't, then like the goblin over there, the Goblin King, we have to make it separate. So let's go ahead and move this into place as well. Alright, so we got that one out of the way. Now, how many more do we have? Since there's 5 in total, right? Oh, 5. Not 10, 5. That'd be cool if we had 10. But, so we knocked out 2. That means there's 3 more. I believe that is Isle of Lost Girls, Crescendo, and the last one is Jumbotron. That one's going to be very fun to make. It's got all the neon and everything. So yeah, that'll be fun. And I think for this one, we'll try to get a little more angles on it, since you guys would like to see that probably. So, let's get to it. Looks like a pretty good distance for the floor. So now we should start putting up our reins and our support beams. And yeah, alright, let's go. So I was thinking about doing something a little extra, such as we can probably with the back, because I have to develop something related to Jumbotron. Why not make like kind of like how the stairways were in the boss room, but we make them more neon and metallic than just regular benches like how they have them in the gym. So I'm thinking we could do that, and I hope you guys don't mind that. So let's do that. So for this part here, I'm obviously going to be, let me show you, right here, as you can see, I am going to be putting the beams, so I'm going to give you guys a better angle of that, and I probably should have done it on that too, but if you have a close-up look on this one, then you guys should get a general idea of what this is going to look like. So let's go ahead and put you in a spot relative to where you can see. Right here, there we go. There we are. So obviously here we need to put a support line that directly goes from here to up here when we connect the two that's going here. Because obviously we don't want this to look obscured in any way. Because obviously, as you can see these lines here, what we're going to need to do is to... Oh, oops, sorry. There we are. We need to clone this one and align it relative to that distance, if you guys can see that. Probably can. Yeah. Let's give you a better look. So you can try to align it like that, and what you can do here is that since they're side by side, the alignment should be pretty similar, and what you can do is something like that. That way that these two are pretty lined up, although that kind of causes issue because it's not supposed to. See, that on the other hand should, as you can see, this long line that goes here as well as here, but since we need to extend this all the way down, we need to be able to make sure that aligns. How about I do that and we'll come check it out in a bit. Looks like we could pull it a little extra more. Let's get in there. If not that, then we can always push this one back a bit and pull this one, slide this bit forward and lift this back up. So obviously it's still a bit off and we do need to make it relative to that. And what we could do is move it just from this point. And we get in there. So we do want to move that. So it looks like that. And obviously you can see they align well. And of course this part's going to be probably the weird part, since we do need to make the support beam. You know what it looks like. We need something like this in between. Let me get a better look on that. So the triangle shape that's here. So we do need to make it. This part is genuinely not going to align well, since the lines are now going vertical rather than they are going diagonal and horizontal. Oh no, vertical and horizontal, this is going diagonal. So that's going to be different. But yeah, so that's what we have there, and now we can copy it to the other side and basically make it similar. I think it's looking pretty good, I would say. So we just need to get the boss up here and a few neon lights and a few boxes as well that we're going to put in after that. Just like a nice little ramp, and then we'll put the boss right here in the middle and everybody else can kind of just hang here. So yeah, let's get started. As you can see, I'm going to use a neon light. It's going to take us, give us like a little power route from down here in the corner up to the top there. And then it's going to go around, and I'll see if I can make a little roof for the boss to hang off from, because obviously he's not just floating there. So yeah, and then we finish that up, and then you guys can check out the entire thing as a whole. There we go, we got our 3 banded power strip, and now we need to replicate it, and then we'll focus on the middle a bit more. Alright, both ones are done. So now you guys can get a look at how we're going to do the middle, as well as give a slight overhead to put the boss in, and I should thank everybody at the very end, or you guys will say in the inventions that are in this room of who made what. So yeah, let's go ahead and figure out what we can do about the middle. Direct the power to the boss, and yeah, we'll be on our way. Let's go. I think that looks pretty good, don't you think? Well, that's going to be routed down to the boss that'll be sitting right here. So let's go ahead and get a roof working on, and then we'll fix up the boss. Okay, so from the looks of it, we kind of just need a giant computer like this one. Okay, so we got our Jumbotron here. Yeah, so he seems to fit pretty well up there. And I think this is a pretty good fit for Jumbotron here. And yeah, we add the little bits of accessories here and there. Oh goodness. And that should be it for the Jumbotron mate here. Did forget to add a little something. I forgot to put up the borders here. Forgot to do it for Crimson Cauldron as well. Well, that freaked me out a bit. But let's go ahead and set that up. So obviously all we're gonna need is a couple of metallic like poles, and a barrier in the middle, and easily with Jumbotron it's just like neon lines, and we'll use red ones instead. And boom. We got ourselves a barrier. Of course, from the looks of it, it is pretty bright from where you guys are. So let's give you a full scale look. You guys can see it from there, can you not? Right there. Ah, looks nice, doesn't it? Now we just got to put the name up. Well, there we are. Jumbotron is here now. So I think we can figure out Crimson. I could probably figure that out right now. So I'll just fix that up a bit and then we'll move on to the next thing. For the most part, I'd say that wall is pretty nice. It should work pretty well for this section. And we just finished up the other two. So what do we have next? So the next one is going to be Crescendo in Eyes of Lost Girls, the most recent quest that has ever been made. So which one to do first? I'm thinking we could probably do Crescendo next. That one should be a pretty fun one. It's pretty similar to the Crimson Cauldron, but it is definitely different in its own way. The castle's different, the system's different. So let's go ahead and make it a little more unique to itself. So in some cases, I'm thinking for this one, we can do a dirt road, kind of just the simple way, kind of how we start in the beginning with the pumpkin heads, and how we can see the castle off in the distance. So we can do that. We can do an overlay of just that. And yeah, and then we go ahead and get the ground going and we'll see how that goes. So for this next part, I'm thinking we can kind of do like a bridge-like thing. We can do a couple of curves, a couple of arcs on the sides here. Thinking like on that side, we can have the arch of the bridge, kind of when we crash in the carriage, and we can see the bridge just before we get on top of it. So I think that should look pretty good. So we got one bridge. Now I just need to get the other side, block off the tunnel ways with a dark shadow look, and put the castle on the back. Castle might take some time, since, you know, it's a picture of the castle, but It's a flat one nonetheless, so it'll just be a 2D image. There we go, blocked it off. So this next part is probably going to be a little more details of the same. You guys are going to get a more close-up look of it because this will take the time that it needs. It's going to be a simple little drawing, but it should get the job done. Right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so unfortunately I did just crash, so I lost my Crimson build, but the back looks a little different than it was before, but slightly similar, so if you guys would like to check it out, let me know. So this is the new one we got here. I think it's pretty similar to the building. Yeah, for the most part, I think this will be the background for it, and then we just have to put Dracula up top, and then I think it should be good for the set. So now I'm gonna go find the inventions for Dracula. I think that's a pretty good setup for this one. However, I did forget to put the borderline, and I forgot to do that since my game crashed. Crimson is also missing it, but the way I had it last time is pretty good. So all we need to do is stick this one here. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to stick a light on it because the moon back there, as you can tell, is kind of freaking out. See it back there? Let's see if we can get it right there. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so for the most part this does look like a regular bookshelf, but it's because I'm going to add a little detail to it, a small little one, and I'll show you. You're going to add this. Obviously, throughout the game you do come across the secret room, so this will probably be pretty handy just to have there. And there we are. So we got the tiny little bookshelf right in the book right here, and we got Dracula in the back, and as well as the Who setup. For anybody who's wondering too, I always hear people talking about just like, oh, it's crescendo, it's crescendo. It is crescendo. I always hear that debate throughout when I'm ever joining games and such. It's crescendo that is involved with music. If you look it up, crescendo is I don't know exactly what the full definition is, but it involves some music and that's how you pronounce it. It's like a Latin word, I believe. So, other than that, let's go ahead and do our final thing, Isles of the Lost Skulls. And I think this one will be pretty interesting. I'm thinking about putting like the wood stalks, kind of how we had Jumbotron, and that way. But instead, it'll look more pirate ship-like, and I think I know how to do the the floors. Yeah, I'm doing floorboards, as I just said accidentally. So that's what I'll be doing for that one. So yeah, let's go ahead and start off with that. Alright, so we got a floorboard, a nice pattern with a dark underlining. So I'm taking away from it, like facing towards outward. I could put a sail. I could put a sail right there in the middle, and then I'll stick the skeletons in here too. So I don't know if anybody's done the boss for that, but obviously somebody's done all of them. So the boss for this one might be in here too. But for the set in itself, we do need to set up the actual sail. Maybe just a short pier edge here, and for the walls, we'll figure that out. Alright, we got a nifty little sail. It doesn't look like much from where we're standing. There we go. From this angle, obviously you can see full sail right there going off that way. So I think I could put a blue background as well as blue oversides with little sea like waves and ocean. And then on the edge, I'll put the ship's balcony. So yeah, that's how I look. Let's go ahead and get started on these walls. Okay, that does seem a little bright. Sorry it came so close to the camera. That is bright. But with the area, it looks like it's going to be hard to get a natural sky, so we're going to have to use a lot of lighting. But yeah, so we'll have to do that when it comes around. Just use a pretty simple, shiny kind of regular cardboard maybe. So yeah, let's fix that up. Thought about adding a nice little aesthetic. I was going to use a sand dune, kind of just showing off like the beaches. So I hope that works. And for the most part, we do need to put some walls on it, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what walls we need. Probably lower deck. Yeah, let's do that. in its own condition. Kind of looks cozy. Okay, I see that's a pretty decent one. Now we just need to stick the boss over there up on the top of the sail and stick the name in, and I think that should be good for that one. Oh, we're getting Captain America. What is his name? Ghostbeard, they call him. Ions of Lost Girls. This one looks good, but I don't understand the glowy parts. Yeah, I think it works up there. Well, we can make them bigger. Alright, I think we have it. Okay, the text might be a little hard to see, but when we get to the new... Actually, no, let's do it right now. Okay, so that should work. And there it is. Oh, floor needs a little fixing. Well, now we got all the quests. They're all here. So the most part that we're going to have to do now is just decorate them a little bit, but I'll do that off camera. But I will show you guys what it looks like. So don't worry. Well, I have completely decorated each single one, every single one of them. So I hope you guys like what you see, and I will explain what they are for right after we take a look. So, to explain, the purpose of these sections is a waiting area for people. Specifically, people who will hopefully join me on this 100 sub live stream that I will be doing at some point as soon as we hit 100. 18, around that much, depending on how many people. So 3, 3, 3, no, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3. 18 people. 18 people will hopefully be joining me. Actually, cut that off by one each. So 13 people will be joining me into each specific section of these courses. So you will join me on my quest to finish all of the quests in one live stream. So I hope you guys are prepared for that. Thank you for everything, everyone. And I hope to see you guys in the future and everything else further on, and I hope you enjoy. Bye now.